What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ross the Boss coming at you with an all-new Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. We are slowly making our way towards Theodoro. Unfortunately, I said I wasn't going to take over them just yet, but I think I am actually going to declare my war. Primarily because, they hold provinces that we have claims on. Why do we get aggressive expansion? Do they like me? We like them. Doesn't make sense. Aggressive expansion will greatly upset those with an interest in Theodoro. I have never seen this happen. I mean, it's a negative 96 with 173 countries. Ha! That must be new. But we're definitely going to declare war on them. We have our claims. Shouldn't be too complicated at all. Our troops are getting closer and closer to the front line. We do want to repay this loan sometime soon. 316 ducats. We also want to go ahead and milk the burghers for their contribution. Let's grant them monopoly charters. Let's also grant an admiralship. Can I get any more loyalty? It doesn't look like it. We're going to ask for contribution. And I really want to demand diplomatic support. I'm going to do it. I don't think I should have, but I did it. And we can't do anything else. Let's use that money to pay off this loan. And just like that, we are now about to spend all of our income, which isn't very much, definitely on embracing the Renaissance. It is only 348 ducats, so we should have it in about half a year. Assuming that I can count correctly. Part of me doesn't want to waste my manpower on taking out these units. It might be a good idea. Well, they're kind of far away at this point. So what exactly, I might have to figure this out on my own. I want to declare war, but negative 96 aggressive expansion. Declare colonial war. Why is it colonial war? It's obviously not. I was reading the wrong thing. You are not at a... I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh, I'm a freaking idiot. I had no idea that we had a truce. Okay, well, when does this end? 1486, so 3 more years. Let's definitely bring down our army maintenance. I can't believe I look like an idiot. These troops are going to move into Azov. Another one of my goals might be to become the Coptic leader of the faith, giving me another missionary. Might be very useful sometime soon. Is Syria making any religious strides in Antioch or Aleppo? They are not. Aleppo is a producer of silk, which might have been very useful had I have taken it for my own. We have the ability to establish a new rival. I don't want to pick Muscovy because we'll probably be their ally. Probably going to be picking Austria. Let's go with Austria. We definitely don't like them, but I think we're actually going to make our way towards Quaraqanalu next. They are allied with Tabaristan, so I guess we're going to go ahead and build up our spy network once again. We're going to be annexing quite a bit of territory. And maybe even taking over all of Georgia sometime soon. We want to go ahead and spend our diplomatic power, but we also definitely want to go ahead and get our army maintenance all the way down to 0, which it is, and embrace the Renaissance. Cities demand old rights. Urban dwellers had always existed under a different code of rules than their rural brethren, even in the same state. Just as monarchs looked to curb the privileges of nobles, they often tried to bring cities under more uniform rules and regulations. These cities often resisted these efforts. Deny the old rights, losing a stability and losing the loyalty of the burghers, or we could lose some much-needed legitimacy, but also gain some loyalty of the burghers. I think we're going to take the legitimacy hit. That is going to affect the amount of unrest in some of these provinces, but that will be fine, that will be okay. Let's finally embrace the Renaissance. After embracing this institution, you will lose 100 diplomatic power and 8 military power due to a lowered maximum storage of monarch power. I don't believe that's actually the case if we spend it right away. Let's spend 1 military power, 1 diplomatic power here. Let's cancel. And now embrace. And just like that, we are still paused. Looking at our technology map mode, we want to embrace Renaissance thought. We want to embrace naval ambitions. And we want to embrace our next military technology, unlocking a mortar, which is very, very powerful. And just like that, we have 8 years. We are doing very well with our king. Hopefully he lasts a very long time. I don't believe he will. But hopefully we don't jinx ourselves. We now have 0 income, but everything is fine. We don't have any loans. So all we need to do now is just pump our way through administrative power. And probably even go ahead and pick ourselves our second idea group. Part of me would like to get a second administrative idea, but you can see in red that we can't pick another idea group in the administrative category right now. I think I'm either going to get diplomatic ideas so we can have some better annexation of territories. I don't really know. Obviously, having flexible negotiations could be very nice. Having another diplomat could be very useful. Trade would be very nice as well, giving us a lot of income. What about aristocratic ideas? We would obviously gain the ability to have another general. We would have stronger generals. We would get a diplomat. We would get some very nice military technology reduction. I think we're actually probably going to go with aristocratic ideas. I don't know, though. It doesn't really matter how fast it is, which is what diplomatic reputation I use diplomatic reputation for. The flexible negotiations could be really nice. Negative 20% provincial war score cost. Let's go with aristocratic ideas, primarily because we know we're going to use it. Let's unlock the noble knights, giving us cavalry cost reduction and cavalry combat ability. We have now unlocked Ghazi, giving more manpower recovery speed, which is pretty ridiculous. We now have 473 manpower every single month. Okay. We have estates that demand territory. The clergy and the Umera believe they are entitled to land. Let us take care of that. Bozak is going to be given to the Umera. Sivas here is going to be given to the clergy. And just like that, the clergy and the Umera now have the acceptable percentages of land. It's not necessarily land, it's the percentage of development. So we can't just give somebody a very weak province like Chios with only 5 development. I think my very next goal is obviously to declare war on Theodoro. Maybe Georgia. Obviously Quaraquanalu. Cossack aggression. We will demand they be brought to justice, but unfortunately it looks like we weren't able to do so. Losing some taxation. Which obviously is very bad because we've lost administrative power. Preferably at like about 60 or 70 with that event. Okay, I want my heir to die. I could disinherit him, but I don't know if I want to do that. Let us go ahead. Create our heir into a general when he becomes 15 years of age. When will that be? 1 year from now, I suppose. It usually tells us. Well, obviously we know it's 1 year from now, so not too bad. We now finally have some actual manpower. Finally gaining some treasury income. We probably want to go ahead and get some actual income ideas very, very soon. I'm not sure what my next administrative idea is going to be. It's most likely going to be humanist ideas, so that way we don't really ever need to deal with rebel factions ever again. Cossack aggression, we just had this. And finally, we have the Theodoran response gaining 5 prestige. Conversion has been successful. Where can we now send our next missionary? Let's send him to Sofia. Looking at our religious map mode. Slowly making progress. I think my next main goal should have been Cyprus, but I didn't actually do that. And obviously, if we had enough income, we could become the Defender of the Faith, giving us some better morale and some very nice bonuses, such as monthly war exhaustion reduction and more prestige. Our heir is fertile, but I am going to do everything in my power to get him killed. Making him a leader. A 0242, not bad, but I'm actually very happy that I went with aristocratic ideas, primarily because giving me more army tradition, or at least less decay, will mean I'll have better generals. At least that's the plan. Looks like our Inquisitor passed away. I'm going to get the yearly inflation reduction person for now, because I have 1.66% inflation, and I kind of want that to drop. That will ensure that I get more money. Ooh, but also, a lot of these provinces are going to take quite some time to finally be taken over. Looking at our triggered modifiers, if we take over Alexandria, all we're going to do is get yearly prestige. I thought we were going to get missionary strength, but we are going to get a missionary, which could be very, very useful. As we move up more and more into our administrative technology and our diplomatic technology, we have the ability to improve our national decisions, like the active uniformity. It'll give us more missionary strength, but it doesn't tell us what it does. It's just missionary strength, I suppose. Normally, there are negative benefits, such as stability cost modifier. So it looks like the active uniformity: take further steps towards a unified church by enforcing church attendance and set the order of services and prayers to be used in the Book of Common Prayer. Support the Florentine school. Because of our relative notability, we are in a position to support the Italian artists in the Florentine school. Being perceived as patrons of international art, we will definitely help out our propaganda efforts. We would lose some administrative power and some diplomatic power. Ooh, that's a lot of money. It's for 40 years, though. Ooh. I think we are going to take the prestige, because it will help us out in some wars. Especially if, you know, we always have about 35 prestige or so. That should be about 3.5% additional morale, which is quite nice indeed. Currently making about 22 ducats every month. It looks like our Master of Mint is already making progress, starting at 1.66 and bringing his way down to 1.62%. We are going to, once again, fabricate claims on Quaraquanalu. Let's go after Cesare. And I definitely am not going to be attacking anytime soon. My primary goal is, of course, to take over Theodoro first. And then preferably, you know, I don't think I'm going to go into the Christian nations just yet. Maybe I will go after Quaraquanalu. But what I definitely want to do is get the... I definitely want to get some sort of, you know, castle province. We already have one in some farmland territory, but I wish it would be here in the mountains. More nobility in the army. A noble can always lead, gaining some army tradition. Part of me would like to take out Venice. They aren't really allied with too many powerful nations, so it could be done very easily. But it also means we are taking over Christian nations, and they will get upset. So a lot of aggressive expansion in provinces that we don't really need. Well, I am very happy with how far we've come. We've taken over most of Turkey, taken over Wallachia, defeated a coalition. We are going to be making gains very soon against Korakwanalu. I really hope that my king never dies. A 556 is very, very nice. But moving from, I believe it is a 16 skill general to a 6 skill general is something that we cannot accept anytime soon. If we could somehow get our burgher loyalty up to 40% and our Umera loyalty up high enough, we'll get a substantial boost to income. Looking at our trade map, Moon, do we have any provinces that have coastal centers of trade? It doesn't look like we do, at least not yet. We have Azov. That doesn't make sense. We can only have 20 states, and we already have that. Okay, well, that is why. Once we unlock the courthouse, we should be able to get 5 more states. And obviously, once we get better and better administrative ideas, we'll get more maximum states as well. Which is why it's so important. Gaining, obviously, less autonomy in these provinces. It will give us more income and more manpower and more trade power. Okay, we are now in 1486. Let's move our 10,000 units over and our 9,000 units over as well. Let us begin our army maintenance. Bring it all the way up for the time being. Adding in some military leaders like the 3301 and of course our heir, Mehmet Osmangalu, a Hasakai Sultan of the people. It has become clear to see that Hasakai Sultan Hürrem is a woman with a heart of gold. She always does her best to please her husband, Padisha Mehmet II, and treats her friends with unparalleled kindness. During a recent trip to Silistria, we saw that the suffering of its poorest peasants with her own eyes. We could get less national unrest. It's going to cost a lot of money. Or we have to do... I think I'm going to take the unrest reduction. You know, that way a lot of these provinces could easily be managed much more efficiently. I'm really losing a lot of income here. But very soon we should own all of Theodoro. We can declare war in July of 1486. We have about 19,000 troops. We'll cross the channel, siege down Kaffa first, and then siege down all of Theodoro. We have the administrative power to core our new provinces, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And we'll supposedly own most of the Black Sea. Okay, so just like that, let's declare our war. Our main goal will be to take Kaffa. Split this in half, move here. And now you move here. And once we take out Kaffa, we'll easily just annihilate Theodoro. We're definitely going to need to build up our naval presence very, very soon. We need to do a lot of things. And maybe warmongering isn't necessarily the best option. Obviously, fending off the coalition was very, very important, and even taking over Aleppo. Which is still actually not Coptic, which is sad news. 19,000 troops going against 7,000. Shouldn't be too complicated at all. We are fighting in grasslands. And it looks like we have only lost 1,000 troops, which I suppose is good news. If we can, I'm going to have Crimea siege them down so we don't actually lose manpower. And at the end of the day, I'm going to take all your provinces and take all your gold. 222, not a bad amount. We might be able to become the defender of the faith that way. Greek separatists and Chios. I would like to send a missionary over sometime soon. How is our Master of Mint doing? 1.48% inflation, much better than previously. Let us unlock better administrative efficiency. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to save my admin power for my cores. Theodoro might be expensive. It is 11 development. Kaffa is 10. This is a steppes province and I believe a grasslands province. Alright, well, we are going to go ahead and put a cut in here. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in our next adventure.